Hello everyone, this is Zeee and welcome to today's In Zeee News. So I wasn't expecting this Garden Tales update to be scheduled tomorrow, but I guess it's to fill up for the flooding that occurred recently. So last week we had one update and this week we had another one. So this one is a very short one, so let us run through this update patch notes quickly. First of all, it's a new EX weapon for the one of the oldest exclusive or unique heroes in the game, and that is Lapice. So I'm not gonna talk too much about the developers' comments because yeah, this is talking about, you know, Lapice is getting a new EX weapon. They want Lapice to play an active role in the light melee guild raid contents. So over here is the EX weapon, right? I'll leave the description on screen, and then the party buff for her changes from light attack to melee damage plus 50%. So not too sure whether or not this was the best change, because I think if Lapice remained as a light attack buffer while getting this kind of buff, she is going to be even more amazing, because the stacking of party buff between melee damage as well as light damage is exponential damage. So the light melee team will do more damage, and you have Valencia, you have Carol, then you have like Gauri, which is also a melee damage unit which everybody has. So that will have made a really solid, I'll say, light melee team, right? If not, you can also use Lilith with a light claw as well, right? Because Lilith has a defense reduction, so this would have definitely made the team stronger. But then again, we shall see what this EX weapon can do to the light melee guild raid team. So probably have to wait for the whales to showcase it, because I don't have a light melee raid teams prepared. It's not a very conventional team, so I can't really showcase that. And with that, let us move on to the next part of this patch. So new JP voices and new illustration, JP art, which is mainly for Eleanor, okay. Story replay for WoW 12, okay. So next part is the bigger part of this patch. This patch is very minor. So let us just run through the developers' comments. So initially, Lapice is a hero designed to be active in arena, right? It's difficult to change the direction of Lapice attack to inflict max damage, right? She has this charging up ability, and it requires you to hold the attack button for a period of time while facing a fixed direction, right? She's a 4-direction attacker, so it's not easy to maintain that. So in the current arena environment, Lapice has a low damage increase compared to the difficulty of maintaining this I'll say handicap, right? So because she's relatively immobile in terms of attacking in 4 directions, even though she has a very big movement speed boost, but the ability to attack in an omnidirectional way is a lot better than being able to attack in 4 directions. So that's one of the drawbacks that Lapice have. So it is confirmed that the problem cannot be used in arena. So she's not as strong as she is in arena nowadays, which is definitely true. Like Lapice is just so outclassed by many other units, and she's now more used in co-op modes, defensive co-op mainly, as well as co-op battles, right? Because you have a lot of mirror targets, twisted targets, right? So Lapice is very good in those, and she's also very good if you're able to get like a few light melee units like Carol in a team, like Gauri in a team. The light attack buff that she can offer is pretty amazing there. So yeah, that's where she has, you know, shifted in terms of usage. But she's originally an arena unit, right? The developers said it themselves. So there was a lot of discussion internally to change this operation method. I'm not too sure what it means, but I assume it's the way her damage charges up to solve the problem, and reducing the risk of changing the direction from the current operation method. So I think operation method refers to how her damage calculation is, how she charge up her stinger ability to do more damage, and yeah, let's see what's the ultimate opinion. So in the end, they have decided to maintain the difficulty, the direction of attack, and allow Lapice to inflict higher damage to fit the original identity. Okay, makes sense. So the mechanics doesn't really change, but you do a lot more damage if you're able to charge up the mechanics. So that's that, right? Let us take a look at the buffs later on. And next part, we have this guild raid light attribute range heroes. So basically, this whole part means that the light attribute range teams in guild raids, they are dealing relatively lesser damage compared to the other elements, right? Your water teams, your earth teams. So that's why there's a major buff in this patch for the light range heroes. to see more damage for these teams, to see more usage for these teams, even on off element bosses. So that's the part. And for Eugene got buffed quite a bit, right? Eugene had a ban pick rate increased by 11%. That's a big number. And Eugene has always been a very good arena unit. So in this statement here, right? In this hero's usefulness can vary greatly depending on the proficiency. So we believe that more observation is needed rather than making additional adjustments right away. So it has been excluded from this adjustment. So actually, Eugene had been buffed a few patches back, and she has seen a significantly higher use in the arena and masters arena portion. And Eugene has always been this unit that is a little bit more skill intensive, a little bit more understanding intensive, because her weapon skill doesn't chain as easily as a lot of the other branded units. So I guess it's a good thing to not further buff her, because I think Eugene is in a spot where she's strong enough, not the most meta unit, but it's definitely usable if you go into very favorable matchup or decent matchups, and you know the Eugene is used by somebody who you know how to play the game properly, right? So that's for Eugene. And there's some damage reduction, awakening node changes. So stats changes for Lapice, MK99, Eleanor, and Carol. So they all have a attack increase, right? 5, 8, 6, 10%. So Carol get a 10% attack increase. Like she's gonna be even more powerful if you let her hit you, right? 1.1 times more damage. And Lapice has a 3% defense increase, 3% health increase, with a new special ability to create a shield equal to 3% of damage taken. So I see this as a 3% damage reduction, because 100% of the damage, 3% will be converted to a shield, and you can take that amount of damage in the next attack. So I don't know whether that's the best way to put it, but this will definitely increase Lapice survivability by a decent amount, right? If you combine it with the increase in stats, if you combine Lapice's ability to equip the shield, the accessory, as well as her stinger one-handed sword, right? Or even the new EX weapon itself, right? Which is another parasol again. So that's that. And Mark 99 is an increase to attack and skill damage. This is targeted to increase the damage output for light range teams. And Eleanor also got an increase to the HP and defense. So this part is probably to make the light range teams in Colosseum stronger again. Like there was a time where the mono light range team is super meta, so probably that's that, right? This buff is to make it. In fact, it's still very usable now, right? You can still see people using it. So yeah, but this buff is probably to answer to the second point that they mentioned. And we have basic stats improvements. So Lapice attack increase +5. I think +5 is quite big if it's stacked across the different buffs from the awakening nodes and the levels and stuff. So I'll do these stats changes later once it's out officially. The Visual Princess also got an attack buff, Gabriel attack buff, Eleanor attack and HP buff. So yeah, Eleanor is gonna have a stronger position in those teams in Colosseum specifically. And yeah, other than that, right, the hero improvements portion, it's massive for Lapice. If you take a look at this, 1000 needle normal attack is improved. So even if you stop attacking while in use, the level will decrease gradually. So I don't know whether or not it's a translation thing, but what I think it is that even if you stop attacking or you stop pressing the attack button, the levels of your 1000 needle doesn't reset to level 1 immediately. So it's a gradual drop. Maybe if you're at level 3 enhanced, it goes to level 3 in a bit, and if you stop attacking for quite a while, then you drop back to level 1. So that's definitely an improvement. And there's a step-by-step damage increases. So level 1 25, level 2 about 22%, level 3 20%, level 3 enhanced step 20%. So I guess this is the enhanced step. Enhanced step is probably the new one. I'm not too sure whether all these numbers are the same as the original numbers, but I'm pretty sure this enhanced step is a new one, so more damage there. So enhanced step is always a critical hit, so it's a boosted damage, and it's a 2 times damage as always. So it's a attack with a wide range that occurs every 6 times during the 3rd level. So it means that when she's at level 3, every 6 pokes, one of them will be an enhanced step, which is a bigger AoE step. So this part I'll leave it to Melon to showcase it. I'm pretty sure he's gonna run his Lapice again in arena. Kind of interesting to see like how this 1000 needle buff will make Lapice see more use in the arena. So I'm excited because Lapice has always been a very fun hero to use to me. It's very hard to use, but this does seem like a decent buff for her. Then we have Eleanor, which is a change to her special ability. Basically an increase in number from a maximum of 20% to a maximum of 30%. So 5% attack increase for every light attribute party member to 7.5% attack increase. So that's the buff to increase the whole party's attack, so making the light range teams deal even more damage. And then other than the Lapice hero part, they also increased the EX weapon Innocence. So weapon skill improved, increases the number of status ailments, so it's a little bit easier to chain with Lapice, I guess. That's definitely something good because Lapice sucks at chaining people. It is really, really hard. Like, if your opponent knows how to move, right, I did rather use like any other heroes. Like even Eugene have a way better, way better weapon skill than Lapice, right? So because Stinger's old weapon skill took so many skills to charge. I think at least you need like 2 full weapon skills, but in most cases you need like 3 or 4 because your opponents will just be running around and not standing on the spot. So that's one thing that is definitely amazing, the new buff. And then we have the new EX weapon options. Okay, so they mentioned a change in attack range by 35%. And when using the 1000 needle after using the skill, use the enhanced step 3 times. Okay, so that's that. Like this part is basically the same as this part, but instead of just jumping to level 3, you get the level 3 enhanced step 3 times, so more damage. Okay, so if you continue to attack after using the 3rd level enhanced step 3 times, it will lead to the 3rd stage step. So yeah, even if you use the enhanced step, it will just stay at level 3. So like it just means that you get the poke, but you still get the the enhanced poke from Lapice itself. Okay, next we have Omega Blaster buff. When equipped with Mark 99, skill damage increased from 270% to 280%. So yeah, just to answer to the second point, which is to buff the light range teams. And yeah, bug fixes and changes, not gonna cover it, not my type of thing. Edm improvements. So this part is pretty major. The ability of heroes to resist status ailments is increased. So does that mean that arena is never gonna get chained? And does that mean that matches are gonna last a little bit longer? And tank teams are gonna tank teams are gonna be a lot stronger because you are now less likely to chain them, right? Even if you used to chain them, you might not have been able to kill them. So I don't know, right? It is still subjected to adjustments, but I don't know whether or not there's a need to increase the status ailments further, because Arena has been a menace with the increased status ailment thing on her kit. So this part is, everybody's getting it, right? So it's fair, but if everybody's getting it, that means that the whole game mode is going to slow down by a bit. So that's my thought on this TDM, even though I don't touch it a lot. But I do think that right now, tank teams, they are pretty powerful, right? They can pick bosses right in front of you and you have to kill them as fast as possible. So one way to kill them is either number 1, you stack up all your damage on them, or number 2, you try to chain them and then burst them from there. So the latter option is sort of weakened. So that's one way the tank teams are gonna be stronger. Then for Camazon, not a big fan of Camazon. Yeah, just gonna let you guys see what are the artifacts that will be reprinted, and then what are the artifacts that will be excluded, and I'll move on from there. Okay, so co-op game mode has been changed. New collection, which is the new Parasol for Lapice. Other bug fixes and improvements, nothing major. So new packages as usual, I will cover it in the everything you need to know for this patch itself. So stay tuned for that. Not gonna analyze them here. Then as something that I think people always ask, what are the pickup summons? I will list the heroes on screen in the next pickup banner so that you guys can better prepare yourself for the heroes to come, right? Whether or not you want to save up your gems, or whether or not you want to spend it on the existing costumes to power up your knowledge. So these are the heroes that will appear in the upcoming banner for the KL server, and then subsequently 2 weeks later for the global server. Then we have the bingo board event, right? Nothing too exceptional. Costume rotation, new costume for Lapice and Valencia. They are not part of any collection, so just for cosmetic purposes if you like these units. Then a bunch of repeated costumes, and then one new equipment costume, right? The bamboo sword. I think this one is the new one. The rest are all reprinted. So yep, that's pretty much it for this update notice. It's a really short one, but I won't be streaming tomorrow because I have something on. But if I do get any information on a new EX weapon to showcase it to you guys, I'll definitely do it. And thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like and subscribe in order to see more content from the channel. And I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.